Reunited after 30 years, the legendary band that sold out countless shows in some of the world's most famous arenas. On tour once again. The Lords of 52nd Street aided in the creation of Billy Joel's hit records, including Turnstiles, The Stranger, 52nd Street, Glass Houses and Songs in the Attic, and played to sold-out crowds at Madison Square Garden, Nassau Coliseum, Carnegie Hall, Wembley Stadium, and many more. They've sold more than 150 million records. They helped establish Billy Joel's formidable sound. And they continue to perform those legendary hits still to this day. Richie Cannata. Liberty DeVitto. Russell Javors. Experience the magic of New York's favorite band.
He knows it's these three they've been coming to see.
Experience the Lords of 52nd Street. Get your tickets now to experience Billy Joel's legendary original band live and in concert while tickets last. The Lords of 52nd Street. Tickets available now at lordstickets.com.
The Lords of 52nd Street will be performing at the Capitol Theater located at 405 Cleveland Street in Clearwater on Thursday, March 24th at 8 p.m. Tickets start at $32. Call 727-791-7400 or visit www.attecap.com. That's www.attecap.com. This is a Chapters Rap Wednesday Night Live. And we're so grateful to have Richie Cannata here on the show to promote that show at the Capitol Theater. Richie was born in Brooklyn and raised in Long Island. Richie first studied classical piano and clarinet before picking up the tenor saxophone. He has recorded and toured with Billy Joel's original band since 1975, and after being inducted to the Long Island Music Hall of Fame in 2015, he has reunited with the Lords of 52nd Street as their musical director. For over a decade, Richie has also been a member of the Beach Boys, working with them in the studio and on the road. However, his talents as a performing artist do not outshine his accomplishments behind the scenes. Off stage, Richie is an established businessman, producer, and band leader, currently working as a musical director for the Bernie Williams Band. He has hosted his own Monday Night Jam at the Bitter End in Manhattan for over 20 years, which has gained reputation as one of the best open mics in New York. During the pandemic in 2021, Richie was asked to play New York State of Mind with the New York Philharmonic Orchestra in Central Park for the Live Nation CNN broadcast in honor of New York City. He was also given the honor of performing the national anthem at the Baseball Hall of Fame for Derek Jeter's induction ceremony. Richie opened up Cove City Sound Studios with his partner and dear friend Clay Hutchinson in 1983 and is proud to still be running to this day. Richie, welcome to the show.
Wow. I'm exhausted just listening to the stuff I've done.
You are amazing. You've done so many things, and I can't thank you enough for joining us here tonight.
It's all good. You stick around long enough, it kind of happens, you know. So, and thank you for what you do. It's a great service as well.
I appreciate what you've done, Richie. And, we've become friends over the years through Ray Negron and Bat Boy and different things. Let's talk about your love for the Yankees first. Talk about how that all came about.
Well, it started back when my dad took me to the old Yankee Stadium, and I saw this guy called Mickey Mantle around third. And I said, wow, that's like a thoroughbred. Look at that guy. And I was hooked to being a Yankee fan from that moment on, and forever I have been a fan and watched the game. And if there's 162 games, I'm good for about 162 games. I watch them all. I love it. And then at one point, I was asked to play the Star Spangled Banner for the Yankees, and I did, and I met Bernie Williams. So that was then the total hookup for me. I became his musical director. Oddly enough, he knew me, and I was totally geeked out by the fact I knew Bernie Williams, and he was this great guitar player, and we made friends, and I put a band together for him, and I've been with him now for almost 10 years.
Wow, that's crazy because, working with Ray, he always tells me musicians want to be athletes and athletes want to be musicians. Do you agree with that?
So true.
That is great. Now, you just mentioned you performed the national anthem. We have a little clip for our listeners out there of you performing at Yankee Stadium over the years. Let's check it out. Well done. I mean, that must be such an honor to be on the field and do that.
It's awesome. And I'll be doing it on Wednesday night before the game at Steinbrenner Field, and I believe it's Yankees against the Orioles.
Yes. Do you get nervous when you perform events like this, or as a professional, you haven't felt nervous in a while?
Not really, to be honest with you. I'm more nervous doing this interview than I am playing in front of 50,000 people playing the saxophone. I'm very at home playing, and I love doing it. I love the sound of the instrument. I love that people want to hear that. And the Star Spangled Banner for me is one of the greatest songs. I love America, and I have total respect for the game and our country.
Richie, I mean, we're all witnessing what's going on in Ukraine and Russia, and we're all on the heels of the pandemic. I don't want to get political, but it kind of reminds us all that family comes first, and what's really important to us. How do you see things unfolding around the world right now?
Exactly right, Steve. Family comes first, and I want my family to know, and if they don't already, how much they are so important to me, and everybody's own little community of family. And that builds up to a whole municipality, and then the whole village, and then a whole state, and then before you know it, you have a whole country. I think it's important that we take care of, not worry so much about the White House, but worry about our own house at this point. There's not much we can do. I can't even watch the news. It's so disheartening to see these people that are exactly like the same people that we see on I-95 or Long Island Expressway or at any mall, and what's happening to them is just so painful. But we pray for them every night, and we can only hope for world peace. And I think music can do that. Music, when I play in different countries, it all seems to level the playing field, and it kind of works. So I'm going to keep playing music. I'm going to continue to be a messenger of what I do, and hopefully at some point, Steve, we can have peace and all be together.
That's what it's all about. We're talking to the great saxophonist Richie Cannata, who will be appearing with the Lords of 52nd Street at the Capitol Theater this Thursday night at 8 p.m. You get your tickets by calling 727-791-7400. And Richie, when you're performing, I mean, the pandemic has really hit us hard, and I'm sure it hit you hard. Not only you musically and professionally, but you do a lot of mentoring at the bitter end in New York City. Did that take a hit as well?
Oh, yeah. Closed it down for a year. Our industry, we lost a numerous amount of concerts with the Lords and anything else I was doing, and the bitter end closed down. They were down for a whole year, so there was none of that. I basically quarantined myself. Very cautious about it here at the studio. We had heavy protocol COVID instructions for each one of our sessions. But the whole mentoring thing that I do at the bitter end was stopped, and then it picked up again, and it's better than ever. It's pretty crazy.
And the work that you do at the bitter end, for people around the country that don't know, you mentor a lot of up-and-coming musicians along with your own studio. Why is that important for you?
Well, because somebody did it to me once, Steve, and gave me that shot, and when I was coming up and trying to make something of myself as a musician and / producer, there wasn't any digital help. There wasn't any Pro Tools, Ableton, Logic. There wasn't any Beat Detective. There wasn't any auto-tuning or melodyning. You had to be actually good at what you did. And someone had to hear you, and the highest definition was in a room with a bunch of people that sang in tune and played in time. So someone gave me that shot for me to play. So we need a venue like that, and I've been doing it now. The Jam has been 25 years going in different clubs. It started at the China Club, but I want kids to come up, anybody to come up and play and sing so people can see them, so they can network and say, wow, that's the next Adele, that's the next Springsteen, that's the next Billy Joel. And we need to have a place like that, not just something that's all make-believe on our devices, because all the stuff that's all screening is all done digitally, it's all fixed, and it's not real. Real is when you sit in the room and you, like we're going to do at the Capitol Theater, that's real. You're going to come see us play that music. There's no sampling. It's all players on stage making that music, singing and playing.
Talk about your bandmates for a minute, because these guys are legendary musicians and performers. Talk about the relationship you have with those guys.
Well, it's probably the greatest it's ever been. And we all went about our ways after many, many years, but for the last bunch of years, we reunited again. Liberty DeVitto on drums and Russell Javors on guitar. We have the best backstage jokes and fun times, and it's all about our friendship and love. Because remember, we were part of all that music. Billy wrote the songs, there's no doubt about it, but we added our parts to it. The drumming and saxophone stuff that Liberty and I did were very, very instrumental in those records. They have signatures. So they're part of our records too. Russell's part on guitar too. There's just so much of a solidarity, and the fact we sold 150 million records with Billy, which is unheard of these days. So there's a great bond, and we're very, very proud of it. We're best friends, and you'll see it on stage when we play. We have the greatest time.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say. When people come to see you perform on Thursday night at the Capitol Theater, what are people in store for? Because providing music and performing in a live audience doesn't get better than that. Is that important to you to perform in front of a live audience?
Oh, yeah. Very, very important. A crazy metaphor is like when you go to the circus and you see the tightrope actor, person goes from point A to point B, the athlete, you want to see him make it, but you want to see if he can make it. You don't want to see him fall, but you're wondering if he can do it. Well, it's the same thing. We are making that music, and it's got to be, rock and roll's got to be a little dangerous. Can we do it? You're going to come see us play, and we perform the parts like we did them as close as possible as we recorded those records. And it's beautiful when you hear it. It takes you back to those times.
Well, you're a legendary saxophonist. We have a little clip from Scenes from Italian Restaurant. Let's take a listen. Richie, that song that is timeless.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, when you hear that song, that saxophone, it just brings back a lot of memories when we're all younger, and just that performance over and over again live and with the Lords of 52nd Street. It's amazing.
I think we're playing it differently now, and actually a little bit better. Liberty and I and Russ are digging into it more. What you'll see, this is why we're talking about getting people to come out and see us play at the Capitol Theater. But there was a poll just recently, the best 10 best rock and roll songs with saxophone in them, and I was in that top 10 list with Clarence Clemens and a couple other great guys. But I'm very, very proud about Steve's Italian Restaurant being part of that. And it's a great song, and it's timeless, man.
It's a great song. It's top 10 list. That's crazy. I'm a foreigner guy too, and Junior Walker's Urgent, that was in there as well. So you're in great company there.
That's right, Junior Walker.
We do a little segment on this show. We do a little segment on the show called New York Minute. So I'm going to go through some names and times in your life, and you tell me a little bit of a story, okay? All right, ready, Richie?
Go ahead.
All right, The Bitter End.
The greatest place in New York City for 50 years, breaking people like Bob Dylan, Lady Gaga, Billy and Bruce and everybody. Got to love it. You got to go. It's a wonderful thing on a Monday night that I do for the past 14 years. Come and see me play.
Awesome. Playing with Billy Joel.
Probably the best thing that's ever happened to me as I was coming up, and I got to play on some of the greatest records ever that Billy wrote, and I'm very, very proud of it. Number one being New York State of Mind.
Awesome. Playing with the Beach Boys.
Can't be any better than that. America's band. Many, many years with them. Carl Wilson loved my family, loved my son Aaron. I got to play with them. I got to play with Al Jardine and his band. America's band. I mean, the greatest music ever.
No doubt, no doubt. Tommy Shaw.
Tommy Shaw, my best buddy, was something that I needed after I was. I had left the Beach Boys for a little bit, and Tommy had left Styx, and we decided to do a record. I became the best man at his wedding, and I wrote a great song with him called "What If," and that was the name of the album that we did. We toured all over the world. It's the greatest time with Brian Stanley and Steve Holley.
I'm awesome. It's awesome. I'm a Styx guy. I love Tommy Shaw. Cove City Sound Studios.
My home. I built this place 39 years ago. I'm here every day. I practice here every night. I love making music here. I mentor young people here, and I also have major artists that come in and play and record. It is the greatest dugout ever.
Bobby Rossi, Ruth Eckert Hall.
Gotta love Bobby Rossi. He's my hero. Bobby Rossi's probably the most well-connected and appreciative person of music and of sports. Loves the Yankees. He loves what he does. He does great, great shows and promotes great music in the Tampa, Clearwater area. 100% Bobby Rossi.
Awesome. Ray Negron, our friend.
Oh, my God. Ray, my buddy. A lot of this is because of Ray. You know, Ray has helped me with the Yankees, get some Star-Spangled Banners. He's always been there for me. Bat Boy, I was very honored to be part of that. Anybody in the Yankee organization knows and loves Ray Negron.
That's right. Doug Stegmeyer.
My dearest friend. In his passing, his spirit lives on. He was the reason why I'm in this band with Billy. He chose me as his musical director along with Billy at the time that I was coming into the band. Loved his bass playing. Loved how he recorded music. Loved how he played live. I love him for the rest of my life.
Bernie Williams.
Bernie Williams. Could it be any better as far as a baseball player that can yank home runs, lefty and righty out of the stadium, and then grab a guitar and play the most incredible guitar licks and have the greatest double professional career with baseball and with music, and probably one of the nicest guys I've ever met.
Awesome. Making it to the Long Island Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
An honor. Like I said earlier in the interview, you stick around long enough, people, and you do it right, people recognize it, and they give you an award. It was an award that I will always cherish because I am a New Yorker. I am from Long Island, and there's a lot of great, great players that are from Long Island that are in the Rock and Roll Music Hall of Fame.
Awesome. Congratulations, my man. Richie Cannata Place. You have a street named after you.
I do. I know. Like I said, you hang around long enough. Glen Cove, which is one of 2 cities on Long Island, I do a lot of work for them with the police department, with the mayor's office, with anything that they have is their cultural arts, and their downtown bid and the Morgan Park. I do all that stuff for them, and I love doing it for them. I love the mayor. I love the new administration. And they've named a street after me, and I'm very, very proud of that.
Awesome. That's on my bucket list. I want a street named after me, but you got it done there. So last question.
It's great because it's always free parking in that spot.
There we go. Free parking is always good. 3 people that you want to have an Italian meal with, dead or alive.
Wow.
I'm a psychologist.
Two
I got
off the bat.
kind of question.
2 off the bat, my mom and dad. And the third one, my wife.
There we go. You said all the right things. Richie, thank you so very much. You got with the Lords of 52nd Street at the Capitol Theater tomorrow night in Clearwater. Tickets are starting at $32, 8 o'clock start. Call 727-791-7400 or visit www.attecap.com. Richie, thank you so very much for dropping in here tonight.
Thank you, Steve. We'll see you all tomorrow night. It's going to be an awesome show. Do not miss it. Come see us.
All right, Richie. God bless, man. Keep doing that great thing of yours.
Bro. All right, buddy. God bless, man.
Touch. Well, should I try to be a straight-A student? If you are, then you think too much. Don't you know about the new fashion, honey?